So I feel like one of the most important lessons I had to learn in my life is that people are wants and not needs. I feel like in my past, I used to need people. I feel like I used to rely on them for so much to the point that it was hard for me to let them go. It would put me in a spot where I didn't know my value, I didn't know my worth, I didn't have any respect, any boundaries, and I would beg for people and I would basically rely on them in order for myself to be okay. You could say I relied on people for happiness and for acceptance in order to feel like I could love myself or that I could feel good enough and things like that. And I had to get to a place where it was like, people are wants and not needs. And if people are needs, then that means you need to work on yourself and heal some things within yourself. And so that's what I had to learn to do. And to just go right into the phrase itself, a lot of us, we feel we need people because they're just what's comfortable. I've realized that in certain relationships and certain friendships and things like that, it's not that I need the person, but it's more so the certainty that they provide for who I know they can be and also what I've just gotten comfortable with. I used to struggle with I struggle a lot with meeting new people. I'm just not a person who goes about meeting new people, especially with everything I have going on now. It kind of takes a lot of effort and time and energy for me to truly invest myself into friendships and relationships and things like that. And so as a result, I used to try and hang on to who already knew me, basically. So that's why I have a lot of friends from high school and that I've known before I even started all of these different things and before I fully committed to doing content creation and stuff, basically. And so as a result, I will always try and fix things with people from my past or fix things with people who I felt knew who I was as a person, because I never wanted to get to know anybody new, because I said, dang, I got to restart this whole relationship, or dang, I have to repeat the whole process of building a relationship or building a friendship. And so this person has to get to understand my schedule. They have to get to know my humor, my personality and things like that. And I just never wanted to fully commit to that. And so as a result, I would try and hang on so tight and think I needed the people from my past. And that always just came from a place of certainty and knowing the feeling they could provide to me, knowing the certainty that they understood who I was. And it was like almost like a fear of the uncertainty of being able to find that again because of, the new person that I was. It was like I wanted to hang on to what I knew me, because I didn't know if I would ever have the time or make the space to allow somebody else to develop that connection with me ever again. But, there's a lot of us out here who are doing that, who, we see the feeling people are able to provide to us. We see who the impact people have had on our life. And it's like, we think we need that person in order to be okay. We think we need that person because they're supposed to be part of our life, or they're supposed to be part of our story, or we just can't picture life without them, basically. And a lot of that just comes from the uncertainty of the unknown and the fear of the unknown and what it might hold for us. And it's like, we don't want to change because we don't know if that change will lead us to a better change or a worser change. And a lot of us fear that because a lot of us tend to think of the worst case scenario possible. And we automatically assume that, dang, I won't be able to replace that person. Dang, I won't be able to find someone else like them. And so we think what we have is the best for us, which a lot of the times it's not, because if it was what's best for us, then we probably wouldn't be losing it or needing to prove our worth or our value to it. It would be easy to have in our life. And a lot of you guys might also be in a situation where people are needs to you. And I think, again, that's where you have to kind of reflect on yourself. And I think when people are needs to your life and you rely on them for your happiness, you rely on them for your peace, you rely on them in order to love yourself, in order to feel that you're good enough and things like that, I think that's the most important time where you have to be alone and where you don't need people, because that's where you tend to, show the tendencies of attachment and, begging for people and having no boundaries. People are able to take easy advantage of you. You suppress yourself. You don't show up for yourself and things like that because it's all from a fear of losing people and, you know, being alone and stuff like that. And I feel that those are the most important times where you have to take a step back and truly learn to be with yourself. And that's what I had to do at one point in time as well, because like I said, I was relying on people for happiness, relying on people in order to feel good enough. And there was a moment in my life about 3-ish years ago where it was like I really had to, you know, be alone for a period of time. I was distant from my actual friends who, you know, genuinely were my friends and stuff like that. And I wasn't, you know, I had gone through a little relationship type stuff, and it was like I had to truly distance myself from everybody else and truly learn to be self-dependent. It was like a thing of, you know, I really got to get in tune with who I am as a person, you know, how to love myself and what parts of myself I need to learn to accept, the boundaries I want to have in relationships, understanding that my worth and that I'm good enough and what I actually deserve and the type of people I want around me. It was like I had to truly go on a journey of just like knowing what I want for myself, knowing the type of people I want around me and things like that. And I had to get away from always relying on other people or needing people. And that came from a place of seeing what it did to me, you know, seeing that when I needed people and they made decisions that didn't necessarily allow me to get what I wanted out of them, such as, you know, them being in my life, them liking me, them seeing me in a specific type of way, I saw the damage it did to me, having me depressed, having me losing track of my goals, having me lose track of myself, essentially. And so I was like, you know, I never want to allow myself to get to this place again. And so as a result, I had to learn to supply all these different things to myself that I was depending on them for. And so as a result, people are wants now, and they aren't needs, you know, because a lot of you guys, you might be in a place where a lot of people are needs to you, but in the bigger vision, people aren't needs. You just haven't learned to supply yourself or be the only person that you need. And so it's like you have to get to a place where people add on to what's already there. So people add on to your happiness. They're not the supply of your happiness. People add on to your peace in life. They aren't the source of your peace in life. And so you have to learn to get to a place where you're able to provide all these different things to yourself, and you're a self-dependent person, and you're okay as you are, you're happy as you are, and then people just add to that, but they're not, again, the source of it. Because like I've said in previous videos, people will come and go. People are going to make decisions that don't necessarily align with them being the person who you want them to be or who you need them to be. And so it's like, as people go up and down, in and out of your life, it's like you can't be relying on them for these different things because it's out of your control. You know, I don't control whether this person becomes distant. I don't control whether this person values me and decides to fight for me. I don't control whether this person decides to like me or not. And so I can't put all these different investments into them. I can't invest my self-worth. I can't invest me feeling good enough. I can't invest my happiness into these people because it'll go up and down, in and out. And I can't afford to have myself emotionally going up and down, in and out because of other people's decisions that I really have no say in. And I think a lot of you guys feel you need people because you're unwilling to commit to stepping into that unknown and actually moving forward. A lot of you guys think you aren't strong enough to move forward in life without certain people in it. And again, that all comes from a place of certainty and familiarity. It's like, yes, this person's been in your life for this set amount of years. Yes, you've developed a routine with this person. Yes, this person has had a huge impact on allowing you to become the person who you are today. But at one point, this person was never in your life and you were okay still. It's like you have to understand, like, you got to this point on your own. There was a point in your life where this person was never in it and you were okay. And so that should be enough to tell you this person isn't a need. They just added more to your life, but that doesn't mean you're not capable of moving forward in life without them. And so you really just have to reconnect with yourself and truly get back to that self-dependency. Learn to get in that mindset of, you know, this person added a lot to my life, but that doesn't mean that they were my life, essentially. So you have to get rid of thinking, oh, I need this certainty or I need this familiarity. I actually start taking the steps to move forward in life without this person because you're actually strong enough to to do so. You know, we're strong enough to go out and actually build a life that doesn't revolve or doesn't include the people from the past in it. You know, we're capable of meeting new people. We're capable of building new connections, essentially. You know, it might take a little investment. You know, it does take time, but those are the ones that are going to truly be worth it. You know, those are the relationships and the connections with new people that are going to connect us with people who actually value us, connect us with people who help elevate us and make us unlock a new potential that we didn't yet see in the past. You know, I believe that people come into our lives and serve a purpose. People come into our lives and help build us into the person that we need to be. And then there gets a point where they're no longer able to take us further. You know, they take us through experiences and certain events that help us to become a better version of ourselves. But, you know, it's like we have to exchange. You know, we take one person out or one person moves because we have to make space for new people. Not that we're replacing them, but, you know, different people come into our lives for different reasons. And sometimes we can't hang on to the old people or the past while also stepping into the future. You have to take those steps and, you know, actually commit to that journey. I think a lot of you guys have, you know, held on to hope that, you know, you could get people back from your past, or hope that you're waiting around for certain people to change. You're hoping that people will come around so that you don't have to let go and go out on that journey of going through all that pain and going through that rebuilding phase and facing that uncertainty and things like that. You know, you're scared of what comes with change. You're not scared of change itself because you understand like this person isn't good for you, but you're scared of the process that it takes to create change. You're scared of the process and everything that comes with change, basically. And so you have to realize that like you have the strength to move forward, and you have to trust that process and understand that, you know, you're gonna be all right. You know, although life may be without this person that seemingly always be in it, you'll be able to figure it out. Like I've said in past videos, you know, trust yourself to figure it out and understand that you've done it before and that God is giving you necessary strength to be able to do so again. But, you know, I appreciate you guys for tuning into the video. I hope you learned a thing or two. Be sure to go to willkeepitreal.com, cop a hoodie, use code WKeepItReal, all caps at checkout. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notices. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.